Hello everybody, Siraz here, and this is the third game of a best of three between these two players. So if you guys did not watch either one of the first two, I suggest you watch them first. I will put a link in the video description. That's what it's called, the video description, where like a link to those games. So make sure to check them out first. And like I said, this is a best of three between these two players. Spawning as the yellow Protoss, we have oGsSKS, and once again spawning as the green Terran, we have oGsTheSTC. And spoiler alert, turn the stream off now if you don't want spoilers. Well, you know what? Okay, well anyways, I did say this is game 3 of a best of 3, so that means it is 1-2-1. So I guess I already did spoil. Sorry, guys. But, so this is game 3 of a best of 3, like I've said so many times, between these two players. And first game did go to the Terran player, the STC. Did a convincing Banshee Marine Tank Raven attack. Second game did go to oGsSKS, and he just managed to out-micro the STC, I think, and that's really what brought him the win. He had a nice stalker force and just pushed in at the right time, caught a couple tanks out of position, and really just leveraged that to a win. But looks like this game is going to be on Delta Quadrant, which is kind of a weird map, but I actually really like it a lot the more I play on it. And they are spawning in the, I guess you'd call this like the 11 o'clock position for the Protoss player, and the 7 o'clock for the Terran player. Once again, the STC opening kind of similar, not doing a wall off. And then the first game that actually did cost him a couple of workers. And we'll have to see if that is the case once again, or how he plans to defend against any sort of early Zealot attack. And we do see the Zealot moving out, so I think we are going to see that sort of pressure. One thing about this map is the rush distance is deceptively short. And when I first started playing this map, I thought, oh, huge map, I can fast expand, no problem. Yeah, right. I wish. Looks like the Zealot is in here, though, and looks like it is going to take out at least one Marine here. So actually pulling some SCVs to try and do this. Very nice control coming up from the SCT. Running away. STC, I think I said SCT. STC running away with his Marine, but the Marine does go down, and we have two Zealots in the base now, so this is going to have to be a valiant defense from these Marines. Going to need some very nice control to defend against these Zealots. If nothing else, this running around is making it so it's buying some time, but there we go. A first mule does go down. We do have this Zealot in the middle line. The STC needs to do something about this. This not walling in is really costing him quite a bit. And the Zealot just going to town. The other Zealot does get taken out, but this Zealot just able to crush workers. I don't even know why the Zealot's chasing this Marine. He should just turn around and be like, smash workers, kill Zealot, smash, rar, rar, rar. Oh, and there we go, being forced to actually chase these Marines a little bit more. But definitely doing more damage than they cost there. Let's look at the unit lost. Yeah, 400 to 200. Totally worth it for the Protoss player. Very nice early Zealot pressure. And I don't really understand why the STC has decided not to block off his ramp. I mean, it's cost him 2 out of 3 of his game, or it's cost him workers 2 out of 3 of his games, and I think that's kind of a mistake. I mean, you think he'd learn. And looking at the worker count, yeah, once again he's had quite a large deficit, 7 worker deficit here. Really gonna have to work to turn that around. Looks like once again we're seeing a similar build. We have a factory going up. And we actually have 2 tech labs coming out this time, so that's kind of interesting. Probably going to see a few more Marauders in the mix this time around. And I think this factory is going to switch with this barracks for this tech lab. Looks like we're going to see a small push out. Do we have... Yeah, we do have concussive shells researched, which is a very good early upgrade against Protoss. Makes it very hard for the Protoss to do anything with Zealots, as they can just get kited all day long. as well as it really helps against Stalkers. But looking at the differential in the forces, I don't think the Terran player is going to be able to do too much, but he is going to get some nice scouting information here, and he might actually get some drone kills. That's one thing that's kind of frustrating about this map, is this is so good for Reapers. You can just like run over there and bring Reapers right into the main of your opponent. Yeah, not really killing too much. Did he get a unit? Looks like he did get a drone. Oh, no, he didn't. There was another drone dead down here, so he didn't even get a drone, but he did get a little bit of scouting information. So it looks like we see a 3-gate expand coming from SSKS, and actually, we're seeing a factory scout here. So I thought we were going to see tanks once again, but it looks like instead we're going to do a bio Marine Marauder Medvac build coming out from the STC this game around. So we'll have to see how SSKS decides to deal with it. And I'm kind of surprised SSKS did not push up here. I thought he could have actually been in a very good position if he got up before these bunkers were up, which he was here in time to do, but his indecision, maybe a little bit of a mistake. We are going to see a drop going on. Got a Marauder and a number of Marines. I'm going to try and sneak around here. SSKS, though, trying to take out this factory. And will he actually see this drop? Does he see it? No, he does not. So this drop is going to take him by surprise. And it looks like his units are a little bit out of position. So he's going to have to scramble to deal with these units. Hopefully he can get back before we see a Nexus snipe. I don't think... Okay, looks like the STC actually not going to go for the Nexus snipe, just wanting to go for economic damage, and just as soon as he sees that army, immediately picking his units back up and running away with his medvac. So very nice control there. Just doing some damage, not losing anything, and going to be able to continue his harass. Looking at the worker count, definitely even that back up there. In fact, I'd say the Terran's ahead if you consider the fact that he has mules in the mix. Though he doesn't have a second base secured yet, which that hurts a little bit, but what are you going to do? Looks like thinking about trying to snipe this pylon, but going to be, even being forced to leave his Marines down there, but he's going to take out a single, and not even getting that Stalker. So that hurt. Nice counter by SSKS. I think he came out ahead in that battle. Doing a good job with his Stalkers to defend against this harass. And really now the Medvac has to go back to get some more troops out. We do have an observer out, so he does see this command center going up. And we'll have to see if he decides to push out to deal with it. Really, the force size is in the favor of the Protoss player. He has a much larger army, as you can see. Income's relatively equal, but the unit loss from the Terran player is just quite a bit higher, so that would explain, you know, where the disparity between forces did go. We do see an SCV repairing the medvac. I always love to see that. It's a mark of a great player, repairing your units after they return from battle. And no units in this bunker yet, but I expect to see them going in there. There we go. But this is going to be a hard defense for the STC if his bunker goes down. Nice force field stopping the repair. Bunker going to go down. Not looking good for the STC here. Being forced to fight with workers. He might be able to defend against this, especially if he starts to do some kiting on these zealots, which is exactly what he needs to do, but great force field usage. I have just been blown away by the force fields by SSKS here, cutting forces in half, allowing him to kill a number of these Marine Marauders that he would not have been able to otherwise, and this is not looking good for the STC, even pulling more workers here. Will it be enough? I don't know. That's a lot of Stalkers left. And I just don't think so. Really catching up a little bit here, though, in the units lost. And, he might be able to defend against this, but he's going to be so hurt economically that he's going to have to make something crazy happen to get himself back in this game. Oh, man. So, he was somehow able to defend against that attack, but in the process, he lost like 20 workers. And that's a huge deficit to recover from. So, really the ball is in the STC's court here, and he needs to make something happen very soon, or he's just going to find himself out macroed and is going to lose the game. So reinforcements coming out for SSKS here. Oh, and they're going to take control of that watchtower, even though it doesn't really do too much in this map because the closest rush distance between the two bases is this path. And the watchtower cannot see that. But we are going to see another drop going down for the STC, and this is what he needs to do. He needs to make stuff happen with harassment and drops, and just buy some time till he can get himself back into the game. But the SSKS is going to have none of it. Kind of expecting this, but we do see an attack on the front at the same time, so that was just kind of a feint. Oh, but actually changing his mind, loading all his units up. We might see a 3 medvac drop. Not really harassment at this point, more of like an attack here. And will SSKS be able to defend against this? I mean, if these units can get dropped in a position where they can all get disembarked, that's a pretty strong force to deal with in your main. But he does have these stalkers over here, just doing a good job of making sure no drop really happens. And kind of forcing the STC back. What is going on here? I think... Okay, so the STC looks like he's just going to drop all his units and go for a frontal assault here. But his medvac's getting out of position. This is not good. Needs to bring them back. Needs to drop the rest of his units. If he wants to fight like this, I mean, you have to fight with your whole force. But what is going on here? Maybe just doing some scouting information. I'm not really sure. And we do have a Void Ray out. Oh no, runaway medvacs. It'd be a shame if you got taken out by the Void Ray here. Worker count closing a little bit. Army count, Protoss player. Okay, maybe like 10 food ahead in an army, because you have to remember he has like 20 workers up, so army size comparable. I think the STC could still fight at this point, or at least decently, and he does have some ghosts in the mix, so that will definitely help against this army composition. Medvac going in here, getting some scouting information, and going to be taken out. Not enough energy for Emp. Only Emp on one of his ghosts, so he needs to make a good use of that good Emp. Hitting actually not that good of an Emp there. He needed to have a better Emp. Trying to do some kiting though. No charge legs for the Zealots. Some nice force fields going down. Oh, it looks like a little bit of leg there or something. Had to pause for a minute. But, oh, what's going on? I think that really screwed up these players. Okay, so... needs to kite these Zealots and take them out, and if he can do that, I think he can fight at a pretty decent footing against the rest of this army. Ooh, I don't know, he's been taking out the sentries, trying to go to work on these stalkers, but this is a pretty large force here, and I think really this force from the STC is just not going to be enough. Trying to micro as best he can, take as few losses as possible, but just not going to be enough. These Marauders are going to be taken out. Going for a last ditch effort here, trying to do a drop to basically take the attention away from the Protoss player so he doesn't attack the main yet. And it looks like it's going to work at least for a little while, but then these forces are going to be taken out, and the Protoss player is just going to march to victory on the Terran player. He does not have enough to defend, needs to scramble some forces out very quickly. I think he knows that. He's just going to say, alright, I'm going to have to defend with these SCVs. I just might as well bring them out right now and go for it and see if I can make something happen. And that's actually not a bad idea. If he can break this army right here, he will be in a decent position still. If he can break this army, do some economic damage, he might be okay, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, nice force fields going down, blocking the SCVs, but we got such a huge Void Ray plus just huge force here. It's going to be very hard to stop. Even the mules joining in on the fray. Oh, but it's just not going to be enough. I just can't see this working. Yeah, I mean, they are doing pretty good damage here, surprisingly. But just reinforcements are coming in, and yeah, look at this. The Stalker's just taking them out. Trying to do a little bit of last-ditch kiting here, but you can't kite Void Rays. Just doing a little dance, I guess. Kind of, I think he knows it's game over. And looks like oGsSKS is the winner of this best of 3. Very nice games by both these players. So with that, I hope you guys did enjoy the series, and I'll see y'all later.